AI scams. Criminals are getting real good, and you gotta be real careful. Let's get into it. It seems criminals, less than honest people, let's call them whatever you want to call them, are starting to use AI to get more aggressive with their scams. Case in point being a post that I saw from a Facebook friend of mine just the other day telling a story about one scammer that he dealt with. I think I'm the target for a couple of recent attempted scams. A week or so ago, I posted the VIN number for the original Boss 302 engine for my 70 Boss 302 Mustang. I also included that I sold it to a guy who operated San Antonio Welding and Machine in Texas. Monday night, I get a text from a guy who said he was Chris Lamb. He said, "I have your engine." Long story short, he said his grandfather bought the engine from a welding shop in San Antonio. It was installed in a 70 Boss Mustang and restored. He wanted to sell the whole car with the engine. I know what the car is worth, and I know what the engine is worth to me. We made a deal that included delivering the car to me here in North Carolina. This guy said he wanted $2,000 up front for delivery. I agreed to send $500 Monday night, and if he sent a picture of the title showing his name and VIN number and a picture of the VIN number on the dash, I would send the additional $1,500 delivery money. He sent the pictures, but the title appeared to be doctored. And when I asked about it, he became very defensive and started cussing me. Right there at that point would be the part where I would start getting mega red flags. Anybody who immediately becomes defensive when you question them about something that they sent to you automatically should tell you that this person is being deceitful. If he wasn't, he would try to explain, okay, here's what's going on. This is what happened, not fly off the handle and start shouting expletives at somebody who wants to buy what you're selling. But let's go on. Hang with me here. We want to go through this a little bit just so you guys can see how good this guy really tried to scam this other gentleman. We hung up and I called the police department to run the VIN numbers, and it did not come back as him being the legal owner. When I confronted him about this, he really got mad and cursed and said, "You've been paying insurance on it for 6 years." I asked him to send a copy of his proof of insurance and his registration card, and he got pretty nasty about that too, and said he wasn't going through all that trouble and just sell it to someone else. I'd also asked for a picture of his driver's license, and I called Surprise, Arizona Police Department to see if he was who he said he was, and I was told the address didn't exist. When I told him that, he really got mad and cussed and said I was disrespecting him. I had only asked you to prove you own the car and it doesn't come back to your name, not to mention your name looks doctored on the title. I said you need to send my $500 back, and he said, "F you, I'm not sending you SHIT back," and hung up. I've dealt with these scammers before. Normally I don't send money except through PayPal, goods and services, because you have a level of protection and can usually get your money back. He only would accept friends and family, so that there's almost no way to get your money back. Besides all the cursing and attitude, that's red flag number 2. PayPal does friends and family or does goods and services. Goods and services gives you buyer protection in case someone does try to defraud you of your money. This seller saying he would only take friends and family is a huge red flag. You don't want to deal with somebody that you don't know by sending them money, friends and family. Now, if I sell something on Facebook or something, or to somebody do an online service, yeah, I'll ask for friends and family, but I'll also say, if you don't feel comfortable with that, that's okay. You don't have to buy it. Or if you want to send a little extra to cover the fees, which PayPal charges, that's a whole other thing. It's ridiculous. The fees, a little extra is fine. So again, never use friends and family with someone you have no idea who you're dealing with. I called PayPal for advice since I'd been a member for 25 years and was told to talk to my bank because the money had not yet been transferred to PayPal. I did and put stop payment on the money due to the fraud, and so I don't think he's going to be very happy when he finds out the $500 he thought he had disappeared. That was yesterday. This afternoon I got a text message from another guy who said his name is Stephen Benfield, and he has my engine in his car and just found out Chris Lamb was trying to scam me using his car. He said Chris contacted him about buying his car and asked him to send a picture of the title, then try to put his name on it and sell it to me. Steven said one of his buddies had found out what Chris was trying to do and told him. So he got my number and texted me to let me know and that he would sell the car to me if I wanted. I asked him to call me so we could talk about it. I'm telling you guys right now, that voice sounds just like Chris's voice, although he tried to speak softer and make it sound different. I called Arizona Department of Transportation and they verified the name Stephen Benfield is who the car is registered to, but that doesn't mean the guy who called is Stephen. I think I have to pass on getting my engine back at this point. I said, I will buy it if you want to bring it to me, but I'm not sending any money in advance. So this has taken up most of my 3 days now, and I'm going to post pictures of the driver's license and of him standing in front of a truck on a trailer and hope somebody might know him, blah, 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 blah. He then went and posted the picture of the gentleman with the name supposedly of Chris, and it's a picture of him standing in front of a truck with a trailer attached to it and a Boss 302, 70 Boss 302 on top of it, on the trailer. First glance, oh, okay, that looks like a decent, that looks legit. And then you look closer. It looks like a picture of the guy, whoever that may be, is kind of just like put in there. Kind of like a silhouette sort of, but not really. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't look like it was something that it was photoshopped. Then you start looking even closer and you see how the truck and the trailer are jackknifed. That is that's pretty obvious. There's no way the truck and trailer could physically be in that position together. And also in its proximity to the gas pumps that are behind it. Then look even closer. You can see the lettering on the side of the truck, very blurry. There are no headlights in the Boss 302. The wheels on the Boss 302 are distorted. One looks like it's 4-lug on the back. The front 5 lugs looks like it's sort of 5-lug. The lettering on the tires you can't read. You can't read any lettering. Everything is very blurred. Total signature of AI. Then you look at the driver's license. I compared it to the driver's license posted online, the sample by Arizona Department of Transportation. You can see totally different. Another AI-generated photo of a driver's license. Now, you'll notice I blocked out the face of the guy in these photos. I originally posted these photos, with a warning to other people on Facebook saying, look, this is what's happened to a guy who's a Facebook friend of mine. Watch out. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe I should probably delete that because of the face. I don't know if that's somebody who is real or if it's an AI-generated face. So for the purpose of this video, you'll see the smiley faces. Anyway, this is getting pretty serious. Guys are getting really good with AI. And as time goes on, AI is going to get better. Right now, you can really tell an AI-generated photo by its lack of detail or incorrect details in the picture if you have a sharp eye and you know what you're looking at. As time goes on, AI is learning. And we're talking a matter of months and as it learns more things. Actually, a matter of days, to be honest. But as far as anything, specific like car culture or something like that, or car specifics, it gets the basics down from photos, but yet it misses the details. All that will improve over time. So the scams are going to get harder and harder to pick out from the real ones. So what you're going to do is try to give yourself a level of protection. Assume, maybe not assume that everything is a scam, but assume that you should be careful of anybody you don't know that you're buying something from. Go into the transaction, ask questions of the buyer. If they seem willing to answer them without giving you a bunch of grief, that's a good sign. If you need, I would prefer that nobody sends deposits to people, because that's always a scary thing, but sometimes you have to do it. Especially with a big item like a car. You put a deposit on it, ensures, okay, if the guy is willing to deliver the car, and wants the rest of the money on arrival of the car that he delivers, then you give him the money then, but he wants some kind of guarantee you're going to pay him when he gets there. So there's a point where you have to accept the fact you're going to have to give the deposit. If that's the case, then you definitely want to use something like PayPal, goods and services. Never use friends and family. Goods and services will give you that ability to red flag it with PayPal and hopefully get your money back. No 100% guarantees, but that gives you your best chance of getting your money back. And also try to send the lowest amount of a deposit you possibly can. You send them half, you got a good chance, well, not a good chance, but you could lose half. If you can send them the least amount of money you possibly can, that lessens your risk of exposure of losing a whole ton of money. As time goes on, these scams are just going to get better and better and better. AI is going to just get better and better and better, and to the point where we're not going to know the real ads from the scam ads. And as time goes on too, the crooks will learn how to manipulate AI. AI is all driven by the prompts, what you tell it to draw. If you tell it to draw a guy standing in front of a truck and trailer with Boss 302 in it by a gas station, it's going to give you something really vague. Probably something similar to what this photo is. Maybe there's a little more detail given by the guy trying to scam, but the more detail you give AI, the better the picture is going to come out. So these scammers are going to get better. They're going to learn how to manipulate AI to really make these ads and their scams look legit. So just be careful out there. Just really be worried about anything that looks suspicious. If you get a weird feeling, trust your gut. Don't do the deal if you get a weird feeling about it. Back out, and the seller should be okay with it. If he gets mad, well, then you know you made the right move. Hopefully this kind of helped you guys out a little bit. It's a whole new world out there with AI, so we're all going to have to get through this together. I don't know what's going to happen on the other side, but I guess, for lack of a better term, it's going to be interesting. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, don't forget to like it. Thumbs up. Comment. Let me know your thoughts on this video. Tell me what your feelings are about this AI stuff. Good, bad, one way or the other. Let me know your experiences with it. Does anything like this has happened to you? Let's share it. Let's talk about it on the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe. That helps the channel out a lot. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.